this video, I'm going to give a brief introduction to the script editor. To access the script editor, we can click right here in the lower right-hand side, bring up that icon, click the icon and bring the script editor up, rather. Or I can go to Windows, General Editors, Script Editor. We can also do the same thing and hold down Control-Shift-Click and put it up on our shelf. So, in the script editor, if we open it up, this is the history pane and this is the input pane. Right here, I can delete the contents of the history pane by clicking that. I can delete the input down here by clicking that. Or I could do both by clicking this here. I could display just the input, just the history, or just the input, or both. This will show line numbers off and on. I can open and load, or I can load scripts, I can save them, file, I can also source scripts. So, now the coolest thing there is about the script editor is the fact that if I come in here and if I create a cube, the script editor is going to display everything that I've done. Okay, so I'm going to make this the text a little bit bigger. So there's a command for making a cube. There's also a command for selecting this particular cube, moving the cube, and for creating a cylinder. So the cool thing about the script editor is that it echoes our commands. We can also take these. So for instance, this is the create polycube command. We can middle mouse drag it and drag it down here to the input. So I'm going to make the text just a little bit bigger here using the Control middle mouse button. So I can come back and delete these, and then I can execute the script. So let's come up here to these two buttons here and just run it. And that makes another cube. We can run it again. Now I've got two cubes. We can also hit this button here, and that's going to run it a third time, but you'll notice that the text disappeared. So again, we've got 3 cubes there. Okay, I can also select these cubes, all 3 of them, and hit delete, and it even echoes all that. Okay, so I'm going to come back here to this make polycube, little mouse drag and pull it down there, or I could just copy and paste it. You know, this time what I'm going to do is highlight it, so triple click it, and then if I click on the big play button, executes the command, but it leaves the line in the input window. Now I can triple click it again to select the whole line, and I can select, or I can hit the numeric keypad enter key. It's going to do the same thing as hitting that button. It's going to keep the text in the input window. Whereas if I do that and hit the enter key, just the regular enter key, that's going to make it disappear. Okay, so that's how you can run commands in the script editor. So this is where we put our Maya scripts. So I'm in C users, me, documents, Maya 2018. You can see I've got various other installs of Maya. So if I go to 2018, you'll see a scripts folder right here, so I can put scripts there. I can also go to the prefs scripts, which is actually where I usually put my scripts. I don't have a great reason why I use this particular directory other than just what I'm kind of used to doing. And you can also go back here to Maya, and there's a scripts directory here at the very beginning. So you can put scripts there in the version, or in the version and then prefs scripts. And so here I've got a lot of my different Mel scripts that I use from time to time. So here I'm going to load a script. So I'm going to go under File, Open Script, and I'm going to load this locandhide.mel script. Okay, make it a little bit bigger so you can read it. Alrighty, so I'm going to put the parentheses over there. So essentially, we have a script that is inside a procedure. It's like a function, and the way Mel handles procedures is you essentially have a global procedure, or called a global proc, then the name of the procedure, and then parentheses for the arguments. That's then you've got to open and close curly brackets, and so everything's just contained in here. So here I've got a string which is based on the selection, which you'll see in other videos. And this is how the for loops work. Just set up an integer. You've seen stuff like this before if you've done any programming. And for loop starts and ends with curly brackets. So this is what a Mel script looks like. Global proc, give it the name. So in this case it would be this. So this is how you would run a script. It's set up in this format. This is the procedure, and whatever you're doing, you do it inside of there. To actually run it, you could just select this and highlight it, or you could just maybe paste that part here and run it like that by or executing it, or you could even middle mouse drag it up here, and you could run it from there. So I opened a script. Now there's something you can also do. Obviously you can save. That's going to save it back where I loaded it from. You can also source a script. And so what sourcing does is, let's say Maya was open and I'm adding a script into this folder, so it's not sourced yet, or it's not loaded. So say if I just dropped this script into this directory, it opens. So that's sourcing it, and which just ran this script, which it's actually a modeling toolbar that I have. Use that in my modeling class. So you can source a script which will load it into memory, and if it's set up right, it'll just run it, or you can load it and just run it from the script editor. I hope that makes sense. So in the case of this particular script, let's just make a cube. Okay, now if we look at our cube, we have all of these attributes over here. You can rotate, scale, translate. Now, when you create controllers, you don't necessarily want, and this is what you're going to make your keyframes on in these different channels. And you don't necessarily want to have channels that you're not going to use. So, for instance, if I were to create a circle, and this was going to be a controller, and I was only going to control rotation on it, then what this script does, it will lock and hide the translation and scale values so that only rotation exists. So that's kind of a way of tidying up controls at the end. Okay, so I'm just going to select this. I'm going to run this right here. Either with this button here, but if you've loaded something, it this kind of goes away, so you just have to use the numeric enter key, or again, you could just middle mouse drag this up and make a button out of it. So I'm just going to run this. Okay, so if you look over here, you can see that all the channels were locked and hidden except for rotation. So if I undo that, see, that's all out of here again. So this is a script you could look at just to kind of get an idea of how it might work, how the syntax is for a for loop. The blue color means that it's a recognized command. This is the set attribute command is something you use quite a bit, and there's some other videos that go over the various commands in Mel. It's really simple. The stuff I'm doing here is really, really simple. If you just look at it a couple of times, it won't be that hard. So that's a brief introduction on using the script editor.